Hi everybody, my name is Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Jason.
And we're the Yahoo and the Torah YouTube channel. Today,
And we thank you guys very much for being here. And what did you say, Jade?
Today is a second day.
Today is the second day on our creator's calendar. It is the 6th month. It is the second day, and it is the 22nd day on our creator's calendar. How are you guys doing?
Good.
How's everybody?
Good.
Eli?
Good.
You guys can hear some chickens in the background. Yesterday we lost 3 chickens, and usually, like we always do, we went out and we got 25 baby chicks, and so Eli made a little trek out of the jungle into the place. How did that trek go for you, Eli?
Pretty good. It was quite loud with the chickens on the way home.
Yeah, everybody looks at you. Kind of looks a little funny with 25 baby chicks. But we actually had some food that went bad, and we gave it to the chicks, and we didn't know it was that bad, and it actually killed them. So you got to be super careful when you are doing what you are doing if you're trying to keep animals and things of that nature alive. I don't have anything interesting as far as comments go. I've been duking it out with a guy, and I just messed that up. I don't know how I did that. But I've been duking it out with a guy on a place that most people probably shouldn't go to, which is 153news.net. You would only want to go there as if you really want to see what the world was going on in the world, and if you don't buy the garbage they tell you on the news, you would want to go and find what the real truth is. But if you were just seeking Yah and seeking his ways and seeking all this stuff, I would just continue seeking his ways. I would never go there. But anyway, we were duking it out with a guy there, and he says that our Creator commands people to eat humans, and it's the ignorance of people is out of. I don't understand it. People will, just like the Christians, you have the Satanists like him that went and, basically makes a stand that your Creator is crazy because he commands them. And he gave us stuff like Micah and I think Deuteronomy 28, where it talks about people eating the flesh of your kids. And he's like, oh, that's your God. He's telling everybody that you need to eat flesh. And he doesn't realize it. When he reads it in context, it's all about blessings. It's all about curses. We know what we should eat and what we shouldn't eat because we have Leviticus 11. We also have in Deuteronomy that tells us this. And our Creator is very clean. He's very, he doesn't want a pig to cross your lips. He definitely doesn't want another human being to cross your lips. And so it's a wild world we live in. And so it is a nonstop boss clan. We are constantly battling it with people, and we try not to battle it with them. We try just to give people scriptures, but people are so ignorant that they don't care. They want to argue scriptures when they've never read the book, and that's just insane. It is completely insane. All right, so let's get into today's stuff. Anyone have anything? Are you all good?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay, all right, let's get on. Nicole, you good?
I'm good.
You're over there yawning. You awake?
Sorry. Yep.
You gonna make it awake? All right, here it is. Deuteronomy 24. You better stay awake for this one, wife. By the way, just so you know, just in case anything ever happens, I need you to understand this is scripture. What we're talking about here, right?
After 25 years, okay.
After 25 years, I need you to understand what these scriptures
Okay.
say here, okay? All right, Deuteronomy 24. When a man has taken a woman and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he has found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a sefer of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house.
Can I do that back?
I believe that is a interesting thing. People have asked that before, and that has been a question. A fearmonger actually asked that before, because what happens? And let's discuss this real quick. Let's say for whatever example that you have a Torah-based wife, and you have a heathen pagan style husband, and he's into all sorts of evil. He's bringing all sorts of evil upon you, and curses, and you have kids. He's doing terrible things to kids. What is your responsibility as a female, and where do the commandments lie? How do we advise using righteous judgment?
I would say you gotta keep your kids in the Torah, and if your husband's not following Torah, I mean, you gotta do your best to try to get him to see the Torah. And it depends on, I guess, how you started. Did you marry him when you were in Torah and he wasn't, or did you become a
You were
Torah?
both not in Torah, and during the middle of the marriage, you found the Torah. The woman found the Torah. He did not, and he's continuing on in his evil ways. And it's just not evil, but I mean, he'll do evil stuff, and it'll pass on to the kids. What is the right thing? And we got to be very careful, because everything has to be based upon Torah.
Right. First of all, you want to make sure that you give him a chance to learn the Torah. And if he keeps in his evil ways, you got to protect those who are the future, protect the children that you don't want being polluted.
So what kind of documented precedents do we have in this? What would we use if a woman had to separate herself from her husband? Because right now we have a man, and he says all of a sudden he found some uncleanness in her, and he wants to write her a sefer of divorcement, which I would totally advise against anyway. But how would we do this? How do we advise for a woman?
I guess it could be kind of like the same thing. I mean, get away from the untorah keepers.
So how would a woman do this? We don't know. I mean, we're inventing Torah commands here.
We have no idea.
We have no idea. So how would we be righteous judgment? Because this could come across us, and one of these things of the judges and the Levitical priests is you have to come up with righteous judgment. How would Yah allow this, or what kind of precedent do we have that we should get away from that kind of evil as a female?
It talks about don't associate with the people that aren't in Torah. So maybe something like that, don't be around that kind of
So you were told before we're not supposed to get near the people of the other nations, right? We're never ever supposed to be part of this, and so
Like you married into it.
you married into it.
Wicked.
You were still wicked, right? And so how do we do this if the man does not want to seek Yah? Does anyone have any advice whatsoever, or are we stuck?
I don't really know, because it doesn't talk about a woman being able to leave her husband.
Yeah, we're kind of stuck a little bit here. So, and I mean, there's a lot of bad dudes. A lot of dudes are not good dudes whatsoever, and so it is a two-way street. And so this is interesting. The commandment only falls upon the man right here, that he is able to do this to the woman, and there's nothing for the woman. I mean, how do we ensure that the man is a good man? And you're not going to be a good man if you're not in Torah. I don't know. I don't have an answer. All right, 2. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's woman. And if the latter man hate her, and write her a sefer of divorcement, and gives it in her hand, and sends her out of his house, or if the latter man die, which took her to be his woman, her former man, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his woman. After that she is defiled, for that is an abomination before Yahuwah, and you shall not cause the land to sin, which Yahuwah Eloheka gives you for an inheritance.
So that's a command there.
This whole thing is a command. This is how to do a divorce on this. This would be the same thing for adultery. If your wife or your man committed adultery on you, you should never ever go into them again, right? That's the thing, is if the man or the woman is caught in the act of a adultery, you need to end your marriage right out of the gate, because if not, you are breaking Torah commands, because you are getting back into it with an adulterer, and you not only sharing like sickness and plagues. I mean, they could have brought you home all sorts of sickness as well as this is too. So you guys with me on this? You guys understand this? And hopefully everyone out there gets this. Adultery is a huge thing.
But basically, once you divorce someone, you can't get back with them.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, once you have been with another person, then you are not to ever go back to that other person, because that is evil in the sight of Yah. Okay? When a man, so Nicole, you have 1 through
4.
1 through 4, okay. And this is the sefer of divorcement, I guess, or laws of divorcement. When a man has taken a new woman, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his woman which he has taken. Well, that's good.
It says rejoice in his wife. For me, it's good.
Cheer her up, rejoice in the wife. That's probably close to the same. Okay, so that's also into that as well, right, Nicole?
Yep.
So even though we don't, that's not part of the land, and it is part of Yah's laws right here. Okay, no man shall take the Nether or the upper millstone to pledge, for he takes a man's life to pledge.
Mine says the lower upper millstone, whatever that means.
Do not take the Nether or the upper millstone to pledge. Remember, we talked about this before. I think we figured this out at one point. Remember, the millstone was if you took a guy's millstone, they'd have no way to grind grain or anything, right? You'd take their entire way to exist. And so Yah says, don't take the guy's millstone. If somebody owes you something, or the guy's like, hey, can I do it? I'll give you my millstone. You are not to take the guy's millstone, which is interesting. It's an interesting command, right? So Nicole, you have that?
Yeah.
And these are
trying to find it in the Septuagint. Sorry.
okay. And so let's go on to 7 while you are finding that. If a man be found stealing any of his brethren, the children of Yashrael, and makes merchandise of him or sells him, then that thief shall die, and you shall put evil away from among you.
Mine says kidnapping.
Yeah, it's absolutely kidnapping. It also is interesting to hear that it talks about only the children of YHWH, because you could go kidnap a Canaanite or an Amorite or something of the sort, Ammonite.
I wouldn't recommend it.
They probably shouldn't recommend it. I mean, they shouldn't be around you. But this is basically, you don't steal humans within humans, right? I mean, that's obviously terrible, and that is, there's trafficking all over the world. It's just, it's a horrible, evil thing. Nicole, do you have anything?
No, because
Yeah.
I was trying to catch back up to this.
Okay. 8. Take heed in the plague of leprosy that you guard diligently and do according to all the priests, the Levium, shall teach you as I commanded them, so ye shall guard to do. So that would,
watch out.
well, yeah, and that would go under our hygiene
Hygiene.
laws. Sorry, Nicole, you with me?
Yeah.
You reading something else?
Yep.
What you got?
It does say just a millstone. Thou shalt not take the pledge of the upper millstone nor the upper millstone.
Yeah, so you're basically taking the guy's livelihood away. There's no way to grind grain. So until the guy was able to pay you back, he wouldn't even be able to feed himself, really, is what that is telling you to do. So that's a pretty good command. I mean, this is crazy. But yeah, I guess there were some things where people went and took millstones as collateral. All right, so you got 8?
Yep.
Okay, and that goes on hygiene laws?
Yep.
9. Remember what YHWH did unto Miriam by the way. After that ye were come forth out of Mitzrayim.
So basically saying leprosy becomes from your evilness.
Right. Yeah, and so it's guarded, right? If you guys end up with a plague of leprosy, it's probably because you have some sort of evil speak or some sort of evil that is going down, and you got to deal with it. All right. 10. When you lend your brother anything, you shall not go into his house to fetch his pledge. Okay, there's a command as well. Don't go into your brother's house to get what he owes you, right? And that, that's, some people may not understand that. But I've been in that world. I've been in a crazy world where you go in and do collections on people like that. I'm talking like many moons ago. In the world that I used to live in, the I don't know how to say it, the drug world, there were a lot of people that owed a lot of money, and you would march right into their house and you would take what they owed for what they owed. And so, yeah, I've lived a wild life. So, yeah, it's better not to take somebody's privacy by going into their own house, especially when they owe it. Make them bring it out to you or something of the sort. Okay, 11. You shall stand abroad, and the man to whom you shall lend shall bring out the pledge abroad unto you. Yes. And if the man be poor, you shall not sleep with his pledge. Okay. I don't know what he's talking about.
Keep going.
Okay. In any case, you shall deliver him the pledge again when the sun goes down, that he may sleep in his own raiment and bless you, and it shall be righteousness unto you before YHWH. Okay. Yeah. So you don't take a man's clothes. Guy's like, hey, can I give you my shirt off my back? If you can give me a loaf of bread, I will come back and give that to you later. All right. So, and that's Jade in the background blowing his nose. Everyone, sorry. We just heard like a video honking. Like, okay.
That was far enough away, you wouldn't hear that?
Yeah, no, didn't happen.
I
All
doubt
right.
they couldn't hear it.
They probably can, but they do now. All right. In any case, so we'll give them the pledge. So you have that, Nicole?
Yeah, so that'll be like 10 through, is it 13? Yeah, 14.
Yeah, 10 through 14. No, 10 through 13. 14 is, you shall not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of your brethren or of your strangers that are in your land within your gates. Okay? At his day you shall give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor and sets his heart upon it, lest he cry against you unto Yahuwah, and it be a sin unto you. Don't we have this already?
I'm pretty sure. Like, don't oppress the...
Well,
Well,
don't oppress the stranger.
but
And
we
pay
also
the
have the one
wages.
paid- yes.
Paying his day the wages are due.
Yep,
Yeah.
and so that 15 is a sub-commandment of that. Okay, the father shall not be put to death for the children. Oh, thank goodness. Neither shall the children be put to death for their fathers. Yeah, good job, Eli. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Okay, that is yet another command. Fathers and mothers would not be put to death for their children. Maybe mothers. They did say mothers, though. Maybe mothers.
NIV says parents.
Oh, parents. Okay. Oh, dang. All right, here we go. 17. You shall not pervert the judgment of a stranger, nor of the fatherless, nor take a widow's raiment to pledge. But you shall remember that you were a bondsman in Mitzrayim, and YHWH redeemed you thence. Therefore I command you to do this thing. Okay, so we have that one. Sorry, I'm about to fall asleep on you. we have that. So this would go in a couple different ones.
Don't oppress the widow.
Don't oppress a widow. And this would also be a new commandment because we have never seen this before about don't take a widow's raiment as a pledge.
Sorry, back to 16. Is that a
Yep.
command?
16. The father shall, yeah, absolutely. The father shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers.
Basically, you can't judge them for their father's sins.
Yeah.
Or you can't judge them for their children's sins.
And that is an interesting command. I mean, because there's definitely your parents. I mean, at some point, a lot of parents should be spanked a lot for a lot of things. Okay, Nicole, you got that?
Yep.
All right. Are we at 18?
19.
19. Okay, 19. When you cut down your harvest in your field and have forgot a sheaf in the field, you shall not go again to fetch it. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. For Yahuwah Eloheka may bless you in all the work of your hands. Okay, that's yet another one. We don't have that one.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's probably don't glean all your stuff.
Yeah.
oh yeah, don't glean the vineyards. Yeah, but it says this is a little different because this says if you forgot a sheaf, which means
Right,
a
it's
sheaf
obvious-
is a huge thing.
Right, so if you forgot it, obviously it wasn't that important if you forgot it.
Well, if you forgot, yeah, and you're supposed to leave it there for the next guy who's supposed to take that.
Right, if you forgot it, it wasn't important to you, it might be important to someone else.
And if you read the next two, they all kind of go together about gleaning the field. I think.
Okay, 20. When you beat your olive tree, you shall not go over the boughs again. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. Okay, and that definitely goes again, how to feed the broken. When you gather the grapes of your vineyard, you shall not glean it afterward. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and the widow. And you shall remember that you are a bondsman in the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore, I command you to do this thing. Okay, that's
So
it.
I think those last three would go under "Don't glean your field," even though it says
Yeah, don't
if you forgot it, but
glean all the
it's-
field, but
it's
it's
the
still
food for-
different though. I mean, it's different. One, we're not supposed to glean all of it, and then one is if you forget your sheaf, you shall not go back again to fetch it. I mean, it is a command. You shall not go fetch it. We're talking a sheaf is a big thing. This is a thing that it would take probably a large person to pick up a sheaf. I would imagine. I think
I
Ruth
think they
did
probably
it.
put it on the back of wagons. Really.
Wagons. It's just a big like
it's a
Big
bundle.
bundle.
yeah, of stuff. So I guess we don't. I guess it can go under "Don't glean the fields," and I guess make sure under that we. I guess I don't know. We need to. It's still a command though. It's a new command, and if we're not adding this in here, then we're not being thorough. It does say if you forgot the sheaf in the field, you don't go get it again.
Well, and it also talks about the olive trees on the next one. So is that
Right.
another new command?
You shall not go over the boughs again. That one would go to don't reap all the corners of your field. I know this is very confusing. I'm trying not to make this confusing, but I don't want to miss these commands at all. I don't think that would be in our best interest at all. So, Nicole, are you good?
I got it.
You good? Okay, and same with the grapes, right? You're not supposed to do all the grapes, so that would go under the do not glean all of your stuff. So we have one new command there with that, even though it is close to the same, it is still something new. But if you forgot it, it's one thing, because most people who are tending their field aren't going to forget this stuff. They're going to pick it up and take off with it. You know, that's what you're out in the field for.
If you forgot, you always have too much to remember.
Yeah, like, wow, you have too much and you leave stuff out there, then you don't need it. All right, so I guess that is it. Does anyone have anything else? Today is what? Today's second day?
Yeah, we were been over that.
Yeah, I know, but it's Moon Day. So tomorrow is your Youth for Yah Spanish.
Yep.
So for those who haven't tuned in, for anyone who hasn't checked out our other channels, we have Yah in the Torah 2, and we also have Odyssey, and we also have BitChute, and we also have a Telegram channel. The Telegram channel was originally set up for youth, but it has actually become a thing for anybody, and there's only like 15 of us in there, and a lot of people come in, they get super offended, they run away real quick, and it's unfortunate, and I wish it wasn't so, but there's a lot of truth in that channel, and it's more of a support channel. We're just kind of hanging out there. We have a lot of youth in there. We have some adults, and so we kind of hang out. It's our own little quorum, and we appreciate everybody who's there. And we love y'all, and we thank y'all very much for hanging out with us, everybody on our digital family. I'd like to give you shalom for the day. Hope you guys are well. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May his light shine upon you. May you forever be in his favor and forever be in his grace as you keep the laws, statutes, and commandments and the faith of Messiah Yahushua forever.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
Oh.